I was doing my eyeliner this morning and I was like, why are you putting this much eyeliner on? You're going to well up. Rookie error. The reason why I feel so strongly about older people is because my older people, my elders, were such an integral part of my childhood, of my life, of my family. When you tuck them away, when you visit them once a year for Christmas, it's not just that they're missing out on that connection, it's that you're missing out.
I'm Maggie Beer, and I'm on a mission to radically improve the way we deliver food and care to older people living in aged care homes. I'm challenging some of Australia's most loved cooks and chefs to join me in my mission.
I'm Alice Zaslavsky. I'm a cookbook author, columnist and broadcaster, and I'm joining Maggie Beer's Chef Challenge, making my blitzed borscht with an eggy mimosa, and I'm dedicating it to my babushkas, Zina and Raya. I would say that both my babushkas had a huge impact on my love of food, and that's because I come from a long line of feeders. I was born in Georgia to Russian, Ukrainian, Lithuanian Jews. Like, as soon as someone walks into our homes, the first question is, have you eaten? Borscht is the Eastern European version of a vegetable soup, and what I love about it is how many vegetables you can actually put in. So this borscht has like 8 or 9 vegetables, and when you consider that one of the issues, particularly for older Australians, is the intake of veg, this is a fantastic option for them. Both my parents worked, so for Mum to make this borscht on a Sunday afternoon and then for us to eat that after school every day was kind of like her way of making sure that we got our veg every day. And because my babushka Raya and Deda Vova lived with us, it was usually Raya that would supervise the reheating of the borscht. It always tasted like a little bowl of home. To me, the smell of onion and garlic sizzling away in a pan is the start of something good. Growing up in an intergenerational household, such a privilege. Babushka Zina was the life of the party. My paternal grandmother, cheeky, and she taught me how to forage on the nature strips, looking for dams and plums to pick and turn into jams and chutneys. In here I've got some celery, some cabbage, and then I've got my carrot and beetroot, and all of that goes into the pot. My mother's mother, my maternal grandmother's name was Raya, Raisa, and she was kind of like a second mum to me, for better or worse. She taught me how to put an outfit together. She was always a very fashionable woman. In goes the vegetable stock. My babushka taught me that if you add lemon juice, then it locks in that bright purple colour, and let it simmer away. Growing up under the same roof with 2 mums as a teenage girl was always going to be tough. And babushka was kind of like the bad cop when she needed to be. And I used to snap back, particularly like clap back at her when I was a teenage girl with attitude. And I remember one time she said to me, "You will miss me when I'm gone." And I do. As babushka Raya got older, she was afflicted with dementia and memory loss. It got to the point where it was just too difficult to leave her at home. So she went into an aged care place, and I would visit her every day. I would do little things with her, like paint her nails, or I would bring her little treats from the local Russian deli as well. But my relationship with her strengthened in some ways. She looked after me when I was a kid, and I got to do that for her. More delicate brassicas like cauliflower or broccoli benefit from less cooking because otherwise they can get a bit farty. So I'm going to finely chop this and pop it in, including the leaves. People cannot underestimate the power of culturally significant and recognisable foods, particularly later in life when you've got your habits and you've got your tastes. Now bring this back up to the boil, and once the more fibrous vegetables are soft, that's when you know it's time for this to turn off. If I could change anything about Babushka Raya's care, I would have spent more time in that kitchen. The food really struck me as very greige. This borscht is ready to blitz. And now I'm gonna get my stick blender and give it a whiz. Some veg will give you better texture than others. If you want yours super thick, add potato and make sure the potato's tender before you blitz. I think every mealtime is an opportunity not only to feed your mouth, but also to feed your soul. It's silky, it's glossy, it's magenta, and it's ready to serve. It's astounding to think that more than 6 in 10 older Australians could not be receiving the nourishment that they need day to day, and it breaks my heart. I don't know if other people feel so strongly about older people. I hope they do. I think probably that's one thing in this society that's so difficult, a lack of care because the connection isn't there. And for an extra hit of protein, which is so important, especially for older people, I'm adding some eggy mimosa, which is just a fancy name for boiled egg grated. People are living longer and yet we're lonelier than ever. And I really, truly believe that one way in which we can reconnect to a sense of the spaciousness of the world and understanding that everything passes, this too shall pass, is by reconnecting with our elders. And that's why I'm so thrilled that Maggie's doing this, because I know that this is going to have a huge impact.
Alice, what a beautiful recipe you've chosen, full of memory and love, and your babushkas. How lucky you were.
I think it's pretty obvious how much of an impact my grandparents had on me. But if you ever needed any further proof that older people still have so much to give us and to share, every older person could be your Maggie. You just need to give them your time.